and welcome to Mente de Madre Leona. Thank you so much for joining me here today. My name is Christina, and this is Season 2, Episode 8. Today, I want to share with you some of my quick tips to start on your health, wellness, and fitness plan. But before we jump into that, I wanted to share with you another book that I started reading. If you've listened the last couple of weeks, I've been discussing some of the books that I've started to really get into and just find so much enjoyment in them as I open my mind and become aware of so many things I didn't know before. So, Vibrational Energy has been something that I had not really heard of in the past, and so now it's super interesting to me. I ordered Lala Delia's book called Vibrate Higher Daily, Live Your Power. This book is phenomenal. I absolutely love this book. She is amazing. She has a beautiful Instagram. If you want to get on there, she's definitely got a ton of her quotes on there, beautiful videos. She is a really inspiring woman, and she is like many of the people in the books that I've read, that they all had very difficult beginnings in their lives, and that has given them the power to make their lives extraordinary and change the lives of other people by sharing the things that they have learned. So Lala talks about vibrational energy, and she says that everything around you is affecting you. So it can be the sounds that you hear. It can be, she says, even the clutter, in the corner. Everything is affecting you. And when you can become aware of how those things actually affect you and affect your energy levels, you can start to take action to change those things into positives so that they are not lowering your energy. And that kind of follows up last week when we talked about Vex King and him talking about vibrational energy and him saying, if you're around drama and gossip and negativity, obviously that's going to bring your vibrational energy down. It's going to lower how you're feeling instead of increasing. And from when you start to really think about it, it all just makes so much sense. And so when you kind of can step into the third person and view yourself and the way that you're feeling out of all of these situations that you go through each day, you can start to see what your triggers are that make you feel worse and what makes you feel better. I am very sensitive to music, and particular music will just, enrage me. And other music just can completely change my day and make me in the happiest mood there ever was. And so I'm able to know that I can use that for my benefit. I can stay away from the things that make me upset and go towards the things that just really increase my energy and put me in a really positive mood. So for me, in my home, if you ever come in and there is not music playing, it's only because my 2-year-old has turned it off. But other than that, I always have an atmosphere set in my house because it makes me feel good. And fortunately, my husband and my children all totally love the same music as far as our atmosphere in the house. So that's what we play all the time. And it's very calming and yet energetic. And it's interesting that we, as humans, I think can get into a place of believing that we're mechanical and that we are not affected as maybe animals are in nature. But truly, we are affected very much the same when we can step back and realize how much we can be in touch with ourselves and with the world around us. And so Lala talks about living in harmony with our highest good because it creates a greater peace of mind, improved health, healthy relationships in our lives. She says more peace, joy, and love in the world around us. Do more of what makes you vibrate higher and feel alive. one of the things that she talks about, and also Nancy Rose talks about in my spiritual backpack that we had talked about the last couple of weeks, I'm so sorry, is setting up a morning routine. And I think as mothers, we have all heard this a million times, like, get up before your kids get up, blah, 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 so you won't be in a rush, you won't be in a bad mood. I think it is so much more than that. For me, I get up as early as I possibly can and go and have that quiet time. I journal, meditate, have my coffee while it's hot. That's pretty amazing as a mom. And I read and read and write a ton. So by the time my children get up, I have built up my positive energy to such a high level that even when all three of my kids are in a very cranky mood in the morning, or things are just not going right for them, my energy levels don't deflate and I don't become stressed out, or I don't have the anxiety that is so easy to fall into by becoming overwhelmed as a mom. So I encourage you, if you are able to create for you a morning routine, whatever works for you, so that before everybody else is mama pawing at you, or if you are going into the workplace and everyone is coming at you needing your energy and your time, that you set aside that time in the morning where it's quiet and it's just you, and you can really focus on those things that make you feel really good. Another thing that I never thought I would be doing is I go outside barefoot regardless of the temperature. It may be for 1 minute, it may be for 15 minutes, generally right before the sun comes up. And it's an amazing feeling, and I've never been somebody to really do that. So it really has kind of grounded me, no pun intended about grounding, barefoot walking. But I really encourage you to seek out those things that you find really make you happy before you turn on the news and all of the chatter and the social media and all of those things that can just completely zap our energy. So Lala says to take inventory of what gives you good vibes. And when you can omit the things that lower your bad vibes, obviously you can't quit your job or something like that. But for me, like the bad music, I can omit that from my life. You can fortify your mind. And this does take self-discipline. Lala says self-correcting and guiding your mind and your willpower. She talks about vibrational awareness, and she says that this can completely change your life. It's about knowing and honoring who and what supports you in being great and what doesn't. She also talks about when she was really going through her first transition from living in a place of chaos and confusion and despair to getting on her path to finding herself. And she said, I realize my vibrations are speaking out through my thoughts, desires, and feelings, and I poise myself differently than I used to. Living in awareness for me means embracing the opportunity for growth and self-mastery and persisting in a higher vibration when met with challenges and lower vibrational moments. She says that your vibration is like a muscle. You can make it stronger and stronger, and you can use it as a shield so that when you do come into contact with, say, someone who is really hurting and they do need your love and support, that it doesn't bring you down into a space where you become depressed and have anxiety and stress, that you can maintain your inner core self and your high levels of vibrational energy, but you're not diving down into that just because you need to be with that person. She also says that you can be vibrationally allergic and sensitive to things, and so you really got to just become very self-aware of what is going on around you that is good and bad as far as how you're feeling. And of course, I always talk about when you're trying out new diets, when you're trying out new fitness routines, if it's not something that makes you feel good, don't do it. Now, I'm not saying, well, I got on the Peloton for 45 minutes and my thighs and butt hurt really bad the next day, so I'm never doing that again, right? We're talking about, hey, this move is just weird. It's not working for me. Let's do something else. Because truly, if we just keep sticking with the same things that are not good, we're not going to be happy. So I really think that the things that Lala talks about can apply to so many different things in your life. And of course, if you know, my daughter's name is also Lala. So I've got an extra special place in my heart for her. So again, it's Lala Deli, Vibrate Higher Deli, Live Your Power. And it's on Amazon. And again, check out her Instagram. Super, super awesome. Now, she spells Lala with an H. It's Lalah. And her last name is Delia. So check her out on Instagram. Okay, guys. So here are some of my quick tips to get you started if you are at the beginning of a health and wellness and fitness routine. The first thing that I always recommend is order yourself a smart scale. I know I talk about this all the time. I think it is so important that you know not just what your body weight is, but where is your body fat, your visceral fat, your body mass index, all of that. Because if you know where you're starting, you can know where you need to go. If you don't know that, you just have no idea. You could step on that scale and all those numbers could be totally in line and totally amazing. And that gives you a very different goal than, hey, this visceral fat is in the really hot red category like mine was, and we could be looking at a heart attack. That's not okay. We've got to handle this right now. So again, those are the most I've ever seen them is about $25 unless you want to get really fancy. But generally, I've seen them when they're on sale about $15 on Amazon, and a bunch of my blogs have them linked on there. But just if you go on Amazon, type in Smart Scale, it'll pull them up, and you read the information on the app on your phone. Okay, here's my number 2, and I know that nobody wants to hear this. But if you are not paying attention to how much sugar you are intaking in your body and getting realistic about it, you're not going to have a lot of success in getting healthy, well. You can work out all you want, and you're not going to be truly healthy if you are drinking Mountain Dew, Gatorade, Powerade, vitamin water. I mean, I can keep going down the list of them, all the yogurts just packed full of sugar. You have got to take that 2 seconds to start looking at every single bottle and start there. You can go on down the list from there as you progress through your journey as to, okay, seed oils are bad for you because of this, and, all of these different sugar additives that are supposedly no sugar or low carb are bad because of this. But let's just start with looking at every single thing that we are putting in our mouth and saying, how much sugar is in this? I think what's really shocking sometimes is donuts have less sugar than, say, a Yoplait yogurt. That doesn't make any sense, but we would honestly think, oh, well, the yogurt is better than the donut. So it really can open your eyes, and then you can proceed forward how you find appropriate. And like I talked about not too long ago, as your eyes become open to how much sugar is in your diet, don't forget about the salad dressings and the milk and, the bread and, it goes on and on and on. You are probably naturally going to start saying no to some of these things. But again, back off, ease off, slowly off of those sugars and carbs, because if you go cold turkey, your body can really throw a fit if it has been addicted to sugar for a long time and you don't know that. So just be really careful to ease your body off of the sugar. Okay, so number 3 is to find a go-to snack to fight sugar cravings when they do hit, because I don't care who you are, at some point you do get some sugar cravings. I think for women, our hormone fluctuations really can increase or decrease those. I noticed that about 3 weeks out of the month, I have 0 sugar cravings. And then there's about 1 week that I have some cravings. Now, I have cut out most of the sugar out of my diet, so I don't have the same sugar cravings, because eating sugar is just it causes you to want more, and it causes you to want to eat more. And just like if you sleep too much, you're going to want to sleep more. It's just a cycle where if you are doing something a lot, you are probably going to naturally want more of it. And sugar is just like that too. And you can go into the science of all of that and how it's so addictive chemically and the endorphins and all of that, but I will not bore you with that. You've got to just find something to go to when you are just like, oh my gosh, I've got to have that Oreos that my kids have or something like that. So for a long time, what mine has been is unsweetened almond milk and a scoop of nut butter, whether that be pecan, almond. If you have a peanut allergy, don't eat it. If you're good with peanuts and cashews and the lectins don't bother you, go right ahead. That's a really super easy one. But again, you got to check those nut butters and make sure they're not packed full of sugar, because they do love to add sugar, because it does make it taste really, really good. And there are also a lot of really good snacks now. If you go to Sprouts and Natural Grocers and you look at the low sugar, low carb options, you've really got to check the ingredients. But there are really some good ones out there that are not full of chemicals, and a lot of them will have just things you probably, if you don't know what it is, you probably don't want to be eating it, honestly. So, that's a good place to start. And if you aren't really sure, if you really just think you've got to have those cookies. But again, I used to think, well, I'm at Natural Grocers, so all of these cookies must be okay. And then one day I paused and I read the box of the natural Oreos, and I was like, these have just as much sugar as the regular Oreos, and they cost twice as much. And I never touched stuff like that again. So you've just got to be your own advocate. You've got to be your own protector when it comes to purchasing things, because that's not why the grocery stores are there. They're just there to supply you. Okay, my fourth one, and this is the last one, is you have to visualize where it is that you want to go. What is that end goal? What does that look like in your mind? And that is something that is going to change as you evolve on your path. For me, when I first had really gotten into weightlifting, there was a period of time where I really visualized myself doing one of those fitness competitions. Now, in the real world, I will probably never do that. Those girls are so amazing, and they go through so much to get up onto the stage and then to even win. I'm so amazed. I love following those girls on Instagram, because the dedication that they put into their journey is amazing. And especially the ones who are moms, that's even more amazing to me. But in my mind, I would visualize that was my end goal. And that really pushed me to get to another level. It pushed me through times I didn't want to be in the gym. It pushed me through times where I didn't want to do any more reps. It hurt too bad, or I was just tired, or my kids were ready to go. Whatever my excuse was, I would go back to that place in my mind where I could envision myself doing that competition, and that in order to get there, I knew I had to do what I was doing today. So for whatever you are wanting to do, you've got to get that vision in your mind crystal clear. So now what my vision is in my mind is, when I am an elderly woman, as I hope to be one day, I hope that I don't pass away before my children are all grown. My goal is to plan for those later years and to be strong today and then, because I'm concerned about my nutrition, because I want to make sure that my body is the best that it can be once I get down the road. all of those years. I'm 39 right now, so I've got a little while. But when I'm 80 years old, I don't want to turn around and say, oh, well, I wish that I had taken better care of myself. No, I'm going to do the hard work now, and I'm going to be consistent. And so I've got that vision in my mind of where I want to be. And that may evolve and change again. But that vision that you have in your mind of where you want to be and why you're doing the thing you're doing, if it's so real to you, you will believe in it and you will do whatever is necessary to reach that end goal. And that's really exciting that we can have that inner strength to look into ourselves and pull out whatever it is that we need to get to that next step, to get to that next level. So I really hope that you'll think about that and try to really parse out what it is that you want and have that visualization, whether it's the way you want to feel, whether it's cutting back on doctors and medication, or whether it's the things that you want to be able to do in your life, or whether it's just the way that you want to look and feel on the inside. So guys, I hope that some of this has given you some motivation today and some steps to go forward on. And again, Lala Deli's book is just amazing. Again, it's called Vibrate Higher Daily, Live Your Power. I hope that you guys have a really wonderful day wherever you are. And I really look forward to talking to you all next week. Have a very blessed day.